Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. What a wonderful, wonderful evening it is. I appreciate everyone for joining us tonight here on the only Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Tonight's a little bit different. I know that we normally do the Rumboyz after dark, but tonight we're going to honor the NFL best from this previous season. Now, of course, with this being the NFL's 100th inaugural season, and Super Bowl 54, just about less than 72 hours away, we felt that we had to go ahead and step up and go ahead and wow! I just read a comment. We had to step up and we had to go ahead and show love for the athletes that play in the game day to day that we all love. Now, of course, I am joined by my esteemed colleagues. Of course, we have Rumboyz Combat, Jake Miller. What's going on, bro? Jordan Love. Hell yes. Block Management Fantasy Football, Justin reppin'. And then, of course, Mr. Rumboyz.com himself, Rumboyz Central as well, JD. What's going on, bro?
You know me, Jen, just ready for another great night.
Hell yeah. Well, I mean, without further ado, this would not be the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. Wait, first, really quick, can we just take a look at how wonderful all these gentlemen look tonight? And I hope that you guys at home are dapper down and just as well. It's an occasion. In the words of Dave Chappelle, it's a celebration, bitches.
I'm dressed up from the waist up.
He said, I'm dressed up from the waist up. I like it. I did the whole fit. You know, we got the. When I do it, in the words of the late great Ray Charles, I make it do what it do, baby. I'm gonna show you how to dress. JD, if you want, you can take the Are you able to? I have to send an invite, don't I? I think Miles wants to hop in and he's going to throw on a code.
I can't send the invite. Yeah, unfortunately.
And I think Miles wants to hop in here.
Hell yeah.
So I'm gonna just send him the link if he would like. And if you just want to hop in that Twitter chat, just let him know. Hey, you know, if you want, you can.
Connor says, "Where's the drip at?"
Hey, Justin. You should have gone Pat McAfee and wore shorts.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. There's a chance.
If I owned any, I might.
If that were to happen, that would be that'd be some pretty epic shit.
It'd be perfect.
Without further ado, let's dive into it though. First, we gotta crack this off with our ceremony. Cheers. Cheers to me. Cheers to you. All the Rumboyz and girls want to do. Dilly dilly.
Dilly.
All righty. So first award tonight that we got popping off. I'm actually going to go ahead. I'm going to step away from my duties as the host, and I am going to turn this over here. Let me just see who we got up first. It is Offensive Player of the Year. All righty, crew. Offensive Player of the Year, guys. Go ahead and take over.
With
we got
the Offensive Player of the Year nominees, we have the Panthers running back, Christian McCaffrey, All-Pro receiver, Michael Thomas, Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson.
Now, all these guys, amazing feats, amazing players. Ladies, yes, for real. Now, before announcing the winner, ladies and gentlemen, really quick, I gotta break this out. I should have had this some of this shit already prepared. To be honest, I gotta find that button that you sent me, JD.
Oh yeah, the drum roll for sure. We got to get that out first. No problem. We can talk about him for a second. All the nominees. Obviously, Patrick Mahomes. He had a great year, but at the same time, he got hurt a lot. Lamar Jackson was unreal. What are you guys' opinions on these nominees? What are your opinions on Lamar Jackson?
Lamar was a baller. He definitely led the hell out of his team. But we'll see. We'll see who the winner of this award, of course, is going to be. If anyone else has anything surrounding Lamar or any of the other nominees,
Right.
Yeah, I
Russell
think
Wilson was efficient.
Yeah, Russell Wilson was. I mean, he was pretty. I liked him. He did really great this year. I think Patrick Mahomes was amazing when he was healthy. And Lamar Jackson. I mean, everyone knows what he did this year. And who was the other one? CMC.
Yep.
Yeah, CMC. I mean, he just broke all sorts of records receiving, and he still ran the ball, and that was just unbelievable amount. All of these, I think any one of them would be great for this award.
I will say this: Russell Wilson did the most with the least out of anybody in this group, and that's saying a lot, especially since Michael Thomas did what he did with the backup quarterback for about 5 or 6 games.
Yeah, I mean,
However,
yeah.
oh,
Go ahead.
You got it.
Oh no, I was gonna say. I mean, CMC also did a lot with very little there.
Yeah, he had a backup and then a third-string quarterback for a while.
I mean, but if you look at the receivers in Seattle, besides Tyler Lockett, yeah, not too much there.
Michael Thomas definitely deserves some love because he made Teddy Bridgewater look really good. Not that he isn't a good player, but he made him look really good. So,
okay. Well, let's see here. Drum roll, please.
And the first ever Rummie goes to Christian McCaffrey. Run CMC.
Run CMC.
Run CMC.
First award of the night.
First Rummie. We should let him know.
Yep, first Rummie. Oh yeah,
Look on Twitter.
Yep, I'm gonna be tweeting all the players. Congrats and stuff like that. I'm literally gonna be sending out tweets to all of them.
Hell yeah. Right on. Well, the first
Right.
Rummie ever, Christian McCaffrey. There you have
Hell
it.
yeah. Congrats to CMC. For the next award of the night, let's see here. We have Defensive Player of the Year. Defensive Player of the Year. Do your thing.
For the Defensive Player of the Year, it's an award that goes to the biggest game changer on that side of the football. The nominees are T.J. Watt, Chandler Jones, Stephon Gilmore, and Zadarius Smith.
Very nice, very nice. Who do you think is gonna, before we announce the winner? Who do you think is gonna win this award?
Nice tie. I love it. It's going to be hard, definitely. A lot of impactful players.
Personally,
And it's one of those awards, too, where... I'm sorry, J-Love. You can go.
You got it.
It's one of those awards, too, where you have to look at how important those players are to the team in terms almost of winning the game, as well as knowing you have to help carry a team to a win by making that play rather than playing conservatively on a not-so-good team.
Personally, stats may not show it. However, Zadarius Smith had one of the highest pressure rates in the past in this whole decade. This past year, he's the reason for that Packers defense being so dominant on that side of the ball, and he would get my vote.
Yeah, I think there's a solid argument. Oh,
Lost him.
I think there's a solid argument for Zadarius Smith. But I mean, I think discounting any one of these players, they're all on this list for a reason.
Yeah.
I like personally. I think cornerbacks are they get a lot of attention on the defensive side. So if you're a good corner, you get a lot of attention. If you're a bad corner, you get a lot of attention.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead, Jake.
And it's hard because looking it up, you could say that both Watt and Jones forced 8 fumbles each, and they have 4 and 3 recovered fumbles respectively. But you can also look at how Gilmore had 7 turnovers by himself.
On
So
a
it's
team
so
that
hard.
struggled too. The T.J. Watt was a really important piece for those Steelers.
Yes.
Definitely.
Very, very important for the Steelers. Okay. Drum roll, please.
And the Rummie goes to Stephen Gilmore of the New England Patriots.
Hell yeah, DBs, we up in this bitch. Yes.
That's what I'm talking about.
Number 1 defense in the league all year. Just a constant shutdown guy. What can you say?
He's one of the. So to me, I really like him because he's one of the. He stood out as a defender on one of the best defensive teams in the NFL.
Yeah, no, absolutely. A complete and total standout. With Stephon Gilmore, he's a player that only gets better and better and better with time. I don't think that there was possibly any other way that we could have any better defensive player that we could have picked for that award. A veteran player.
Yes, and you have to look at they needed that defense this year more than ever before.
When Belichick's defenses are at their max, he's got like a shutdown corner, and that was Stephen Gilmore this year. They didn't go far in the playoffs, but all year they were dominant. Yeah, Buffalo lost Stephon Gilmore, man. Why they don't get any love?
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah. Let's see here. So, next category here. What?
Justin taking that one?
Yeah, sorry. I was still looking at that Buffalo guy. If we had a category for best body slam through a table, Buffalo would win hands down. Just throwing that out there. All right, guys. So the next category is what up, SP? You see that, guys?
Hey, don't know how.
Hey, gotta get drunk again. SP, get me drunk.
Okay, so
Thank you for that.
we got for this category the coach of the year, the leader of the team, and maybe the most crucial part of every team. For our candidates, we have Sean McDermott, Andy Reid, Kyle Shanahan, and Mike Vrabel. You guys, what you guys think about them?
So first, I want to definitely shout out Vrabel and McDermott. Those guys were both amazing coaches this year. McDermott, you got to respect the way that he completely turned around Buffalo. Complete 360. Well, no, we're not 360 because you ended up right the fuck back where you were. Complete 180. And then also, I mean, with who else did I just say? I said McDermott. Wow, I just blanked. What is going on?
Andy Reid and Kyle Shanahan.
Yep. And then the other one was Vrabel. And then also Vrabel kind of has a similar storyline in regards to McDermott. He turned that whole organization around, completely turned the Tennessee Titans around, and I also love how hands-on of a coach he is. I think I've pretty much been fairly biased towards the both of them all year. But all these guys in this category, all these nominees, absolutely deserve to be in this category for sure.
Absolutely.
Well, I think looking at this, Andy Reid had a very good team last year as well. So it's almost like a punishment that he has been good 2 years in a row and it has built something there, right? It's kind of like the Popovich effect, where you only got it one time. Shanahan has won 9 more games than last year before. And Sean McDermott has really rebuilt that team as well. Vrabel is tough to me because if you think about it, he has more of a playoff story. That's kind of like a regular season award, almost. So,
Hey.
Oh, there he goes. Miles dressed up.
There he is.
Looking good.
But yeah, Vrabel's story really picked up in the playoffs, and I feel like it's a regular season award almost like a player has it. So I think it's tougher for him because the votes were almost in already. Many people.
You gotta look at it this way too, though. With Shanahan did it all throughout the year, leading up to Sunday. You know, so I mean that you gotta look at that. I mean, I know that like you want to look at the regular season, maybe make it a regular season award, but overall,
And Shanahan has that awesome trucker hat. No other coach has that.
Dude, Shanahan, the way I see Shanahan is this way. Like you hear, they were like a coming storm that nobody really believed. It was like a hurricane that people were like, it's going to blow over or whatever. It's going to do nothing. You hear it in the offseason of last year, like, oh, watch out for those Niners. Watch out for the Niners. And people are, whatever, nothing. Then they come out this year. Defense different, offense looks different. It's just like Shanahan's ridiculous, man. And it's the head coach right there.
Absolutely. Miles, who do you think is gonna win this category before we announce it? Coach of the year.
As far as coach of the year, well, yeah, I heard you guys talking about Shanahan, and he's been there before. Unfortunately, the last time he was in the big show, it's that 28. I don't even want to bring it up, but it's kind of like a tired thing at this point, but he's done a great job there. 49ers have flown under the radar, I think, probably the entire year. A lot of people have not really given them the benefit of the doubt. Same thing goes for Jimmy GQ, looking sharp over there, liking up porn stars on his social media and still getting it done, with minimal, like the NFC's version of Ryan Tannehill this year, I guess, but just doing it with that all-around team effort. I think Harbaugh's done a great job over there. So, definitely somebody to consider for that nod.
But if you're going to add Harbaugh, you got to talk about Greg Roman too. So that's where I'm just like, yeah, but I get it. That's a good point though, J-Lo.
Okay, well, let's get into who's going to win this one then. Who's going to win this category? Drum roll, please.
And the winner is Kyle Shanahan.
Hell yes. I mean, like I said, he did it all throughout the year. He did it all throughout the year. Consistency wins. Hey, Miles, just so you know, I'm still the sexiest motherfucker on this cast, okay? I see you with the suit.
That changed before Miles even got here.
Ooh. Got it.
Yeah, look, I'll go more David Lynch style here and then just remove the tie. I didn't have time to tie it. I saw you guys all dressed up, and I was like, man, let me jump on. I have a bunch of stuff in my closet I never get to use.
Nice.
Miles, you had the chance. You could have gone Pat McAfee jorts. You heard it already. Please do that.
I was gonna go jacket and no undershirt and just like tats exposed, but I was like, let's keep it classy.
Yeah,
I like it though.
Below the waist, I'm wearing that same thing Brian just sent us. So,
the fucking Carhartt thing. Oh gosh.
Yeah, I got pajama pants on down here.
Let's go ahead and get into the next award here.
Connor Burke was hoping for drippy chains from us.
Drippy, bro. I know.
I went so far. I trimmed the beard, cleaned up.
I like it. I'll be trimmed up for the kickoff party on Sunday. Don't you guys worry. Don't worry. I'll be fresh to death.
I got people coming over, and we're all gonna tune in to watch this. I'm gonna expose all my friends to the lovely world of fantasy sports that we have going on out here. So hopefully we get some more followers and some more hardcore followers.
yeah.
Before we do get into the next award, I want to encourage people to do this. All right, if you are throwing the Super Bowl party and you guys are tuned in to the Rumboyz Fantasy Network kickoff party, tell everyone in your home or wherever you're at to subscribe. And if they don't, feel free to pick up their fucking phone and do it for them.
Yeah,
Like,
put it up on your TV.
Huh?
Put it up on your TV. Go ahead,
Yep.
plug your HDMI into your TV, get that streaming up there pre-game.
Oh yeah,
Hey,
that's the plan. That's what I'm going to do. You know, my pregame party it's already going to be on the TV. Everybody walks in and say, "Hey, what's going on there?" It's like, "Hey, it's Rumboyz Network."
I'm deboing my friend's TV. I'm going to my friend's party. I'm bringing a projector and a sheet to hang up so we can get it just 100-inch screen with Rumboyz on it.
Wow.
I love it. We're going big over here.
And I mean, we're deboing it. Debo Samuels, you know.
Yeah.
He better score a touchdown. He better score a touchdown because I have a prop bet. He scores 1 touchdown.
How much?
So I just bet 10 just for fun. I win like $28 if he scores.
Worth it.
I've got about 30 shots of vodka on the line during this game, so I need to win these, or man, I might not make it home.
Oh my gosh, might not make it. So
I just purchased a new TV. I got people coming over, so I'm gonna blast the Rumboyz up all pregame, and then we're gonna get into the game and have a good time.
It's gonna be epic.
Hey, y'all need to be doing y'all hear all their ideas that they're doing. You guys replicate, still shamelessly. Go for it. Let's see here. So next category that we have is Offensive Rookie of the Year. Let's see here. And for oh wow, I'm actually doing Offensive Rookie of the Year. I was about to pass that to someone else, for real. So for Offensive Rookie of the Year, this award, of course, is very near and dear to me personally, being that I interviewed 40 of these guys. I got to sit down, know them personally, have breakfast, lunch, and dinner with them and their families for a total of 3 days. So it is with great honor and great pleasure to be able to announce the nominees for the 2020. Will this be like 2019 or 2020? It was like the 2020 Rummies.
2019, I guess. Or I guess 2020 Rummie.
No, it'd be 2020.
That makes sense.
Yeah. So for the first annual for the first annual Rummie Award for the Offensive Rookie Player of the Year, our nominees are Josh Jacobs of the Oakland Raiders, Terry McLaurin of the Washington Redskins, A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans, and Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals. Staff, go ahead and break down the nominees, and I'm going to sit back and let you guys enjoy. We'll start with Miles. Since he just got here, and then we'll work around.
First of all, was Darren Waller not a rookie this year, or is that he like tight ends just not a category in this this whole ordeal? But no, with the guys that were nominated, good class. A lot of people, or a lot of these guys, obviously were very valuable to their teams specifically. But I'm going to go with somebody who I got to see personally a lot in the division that I cover in the AFC South, and I'm going to go with A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans, wide receiver. Dude was beastly. I know he looked very small in those early photos that we saw in the offseason before he came into the season, where he's standing next to DK Metcalf, who's just,
a monolith.
Herculean. But no, like very under the radar, and then he came on very strong towards the end of the year. I'm very glad that he made it into this category. I would initially wanted to have gone with maybe somebody like Josh Jacobs. I know he carried a lot of people pretty far as fantasy-wise into the playoffs, most likely, if you had him on your team and you got him maybe in the 4th or 5th round if you were lucky. So, very close race between those guys. A very good rookie class that came out this year. Terry McLaurin was another good example there, really, really carrying the Washington Redskins. But unfortunately, they didn't post a very good record. So I'm going to go ahead and say A.J. Brown would be my pick. He had a very good season, really strong numbers, really came out and emerged as probably the number one receiver going forward there. the days of Corey Davis are gone. I feel it's probably time for most people to give up on that ship there. And Ryan Tannehill was a big surprise there as well. So
I'm confused. There was a Corey Davis time.
Well, yeah, I was never on board with that. You're exactly right there. I was never on board with that, but I know a lot of people were always clamoring for Corey Davis, and there's a lot of truthers out there. So I'm talking to those people specifically. But yeah, AJ Brown was able to just come in and step right into that wide receiver kind of one role towards the end of his rookie year and really take over that spot and dominate, honestly, going into the playoffs all the way up into the championship game versus the Chiefs. So I know that he wasn't extremely consistent down the line here, but as a rookie, it was a very strong performance, and so he gets my vote in this category.
Okay, Justin.
I think AJ Brown is my guy right now with Samuel a second. I think just as guys that started out as rookies and became a near top option or the top option and won games, I think that's important to me. So one of those two guys would get it for me.
Okay. J Love.
I mean, we all know who I'm going to pick, right? I'm going to. My vote would obviously go to Kyler Murray. I know Josh Jacobs probably had the better year statistically, but I'm going to refer back to last year when Saquon Barkley was arguably the second best running back in the league, and he didn't get it, and Baker Mayfield got Offensive Rookie of the Year. Even though Saquon clearly had the better year, it's a positional value. It's a quarterback's award to win when he has a good year. And that's why I'm going to go with Kyler Murray.
As a fantasy guy, I hate on quarterbacks a lot. So I'm not going to go Kyler Murray, but as a 49er fan, I'm scared to face him in the future, and I'm not happy about that. I think, to me, this one's a toss-up for me between A.J. Brown and Josh Jacobs. A.J. Brown is so dominant there as the wide receiver nowadays. Like towards the end of the season, he had a great week one, and then he kind of fell off for a little bit. And then he came back, and you saw the progression of him as a wide receiver, which was just a beautiful thing. And he's just amazing. Josh Jacobs was so consistent throughout the year, though. He looked like he's been in the NFL before. Like, it was just, I like watching him. So I would have to go with Josh Jacobs.
Okay. And JD.
I got Josh Jacobs too. He was just a horse, man. Like he's John Gruden's offense, and he just worked him. He kept pounding him, and then he just kept taking it. And now you could argue he's a star.
Darren Waller, cough.
Hey, Waller's great too. I'm not hating on Waller, but I don't know if wasn't he in the league before, at least for training camp?
Yeah, he was in the league. He was in the league this year, but he was injured. He never played. So pretty much think of it as a Ben Simmons thing. Think of it as a Ben Simmons thing.
Yeah.
Redshirted.
So before we get into the drum roll, I just want to say, next year when we do this, I'm gonna have like someone like little mamacita, pass me an envelope. Envelope, please, girl.
Gotta have
drum roll, please.
She got to be wearing a dress too,
All righty, and the winner of the Offensive Rookie of the Year award is Josh Jacobs of the Oakland, now Las Vegas Raiders. Hell yes.
That's right. Their name officially changed.
Yeah, their name has
Vegas Raiders.
Yo, how many people do you think tomorrow night that like if any Raiders players get any awards tomorrow, how many people do you think are still gonna like fuck that up? Like people are still gonna be like, yeah, Oakland.
Yeah, the Oakland. I mean, sure. I still say the San Diego Chargers. So
yeah,
to this day.
Hey, the head coach does too. The head coach did too.
Yeah, that's true.
I'm going to do it for at least a year, at least 1 year, and then I'll get used to it.
Let's see here. And we go back to Justin here, actually. Justin, You already got the list, man. Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Let's do it. All right, so this award, as Robbie said, is for the Defensive Rookie of the Year. And the nominees are Josh Allen, Nick Bosa, and Devin Bush. All right, guys, what you think about these guys?
Is there even an argument?
Yeah, I was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah,
I got
let's
Bosa,
be
man.
honest.
Bosa.
Devin Bush. Devin Bush had a
Bosa's
great
killer,
year.
dude.
One
Josh
guy was
Allen
a
had
superstar right when he
Fack.
walks in the league. So
Yo,
I guess there is an argument.
Is there?
No, there's really not.
Yeah,
No.
nobody gave there's not an argument, I guess.
All right, everyone, grab your flags. We're gonna go plant them at center field because it's Nick motherfucking Bosa.
I'm with Park Management. I'm with Justin on this one.
you gotta be.
Oh my
I like
god.
Bosa. I will plant the flag with Bosa as well.
Yeah, that's hands down. That was
Joey
hands down.
who?
If it wasn't for Bosa being a rookie, if it was not for Bosa being a rookie, he would have probably had the Defensive Player of the Year award.
I mean, he's still in that conversation.
Yeah,
Yeah, bro.
Let's be real.
I know, but you can't give well, I mean, you can. It just won't happen giving a rookie that award as well. They want to spread the love.
Yeah, can't do that. That's why there's the controversy. Is it rigged? Hey, look, it's not necessarily rigged per se.
There's
rules.
a method to the
rules.
madness.
What's up
Exactly.
with these younger brothers and these defensive ends just taking over and just making their older brothers look like crap? I'm just saying, TJ
They
and Nick
learn.
are just
They-
like-
Bosa had numbers too.
JJ's kinda
Bosa
old
put up
already.
stats.
yeah,
They
and
also, they also kind of
Yeah.
learn.
What?
In a
Why
way.
could? Yeah, but how come that didn't work with the Mannings?
hey, I mean,
Hey man, Cooper was
One
a
of them
bust.
drank all the
won 2
time.
titles. He beat the Patriots, so.
Hey,
One of
Cooper
them-
was a bust. Peyton saved his legacy.
There you go. Yeah, he picked
Oh.
it up the second round.
That-
Have you guys
that's-
seen Cooper's
Second
son?
brother, middle brother.
But then Eli came out there and I don't know. He didn't learn from him. He wasn't
It-
taking notes.
Well, Eli was
Is
drunk. all
Cooper's
the time.
son
He
good,
was.
or what's going on, JD?
Hey, I support that.
I was gonna say,
All the time.
is Cooper's son any good, or what's going on there, JD?
Oh, Arch Manning, yeah. Arch Manning, he's
Oh.
like a sophomore or junior this year. Dude, he's
Arch.
balling, bro. Yeah. Arch Manning he's a beast. It's Cooper's son, bro. He's going to the same high school as Eli and Peyton went, and he's fucking shit up. He's even more
Hey, the
dangerous
be-
than Peyton.
The best son of an athlete is Dion's kid. That kid's the number one quarterback in the country. In high school.
Cornerback or quarterback? I haven't seen
Quarterback. He's a
Quarterback.
quarterback. Kid's a stud.
that. Ooh,
Wow.
He's insane.
interesting. I'll have to check him out too. We're out Cooper, best Manning, no cap. Bro, Eli did some dirty things in the league. I mean, for a couple years, but obviously Peyton was the best, no question.
Yeah,
We
well,
lost
there's
Robbie.
I was gonna say, yeah, that's true. There's that classic meme, though. I mean, if it wasn't for Eli, there'd be 10 Tom Brady Super Bowls. So, thank God for him. Oh,
Yeah, for
God.
real. I can't even imagine. Brady had, he would have legitimately, he'd have 9, well, he'd have 8 Super Bowls right now. If it
Oh,
weren't for Eli.
that's too much.
Yeah, that's
what
way
do you-
too many.
What do you think about that Tom Brady photo that he posted? It was kind of cryptic on. Did you guys already talk about that by any chance? But that photo where he's leaving the stadium, I guess. Everybody said it looked like an album cover.
Yeah, I did see that.
Y'all know I had to hit the wardrobe change.
Second act.
Second act.
So next category. No, this is I'm fly, bro. Fly.
That's awesome.
I had to pull a Steve Harvey, bro. I had to pull a Steve Harvey. I was like, I'm hosting an award show. I need to find a chance where I can get a wardrobe change in.
We need to put a counter up in the corner. That's 2 wardrobe changes. Keep track.
Well, now you have to pick the wrong winner at some point as well, twice.
Yeah, you're Steve Harvey.
Yes,
Like,
you pick up.
you
Yes,
had commands like that.
Miss Mexico. I mean, oh, sorry.
now we are getting into actually the next award up is I might switch this around here. Let me just see something. Yeah, I'm gonna switch one thing around. So the next award that we are actually going to get into is, to me, a fairly important award. There's nothing like recognizing and acknowledging someone's improvement from one year over into the next. So with the Comeback Player of the Year award, I will now turn it over to JD for his speech and nominee listings.
All right, yeah, the Comeback Player of the Year is obviously a big deal. You know, this league is one of those leagues where you could be gone in a year. Like if you let loose just a little bit and don't bring your all, you're out of the league. So it's nice to see players who dip a little bit come right back and show that they're still elite enough to be in this elite league. And here are the nominees for the Comeback Player of the Year. First nominee is somebody who got hurt. Actually, the first three are. Could argue all of them are. Dalvin Cook is the running back of the Vikings. Had an amazing year this year. He's the first nominee, so claps for him. Jimmy G is the other one. He's in a Super Bowl, so that's enough said there, obviously. He's came all the way back and went to the Super Bowl. Teddy Bridgewater went 5-0 this year with the Saints when Drew Brees hurt his thumb. Huge year for him. And Ryan Tannehill. Not only did he kind of prove he can be legit in this league more than just a backup, he brought his team to the playoffs and did really well. He made a run, but obviously we're just talking about regular season here. So what do you guys think of – let's start with Dalvin Cook. Justin, what do you think of Dalvin Cook?
I just saw that. Hold on, I got to get in there because I just saw that comment. Not impressed by Dalvin Cook? Oh, my God. Dalvin Cook, like I was impressed by Dalvin Cook. The only thing that I was worried about Dalvin Cook this whole year was whether he could stay healthy for fantasy purposes. And he did for the most part. He got injured right at the end of the year, which, you know, that kind of hurt you. But his numbers and his stats throughout the season were amazing.
Yeah, he was consistent. And when he was on, Kirk Cousins played better. You noticed that. Like, that's huge. You know, you need to balance it out. What about you, Miles? Any opinion on this award?
Yeah, I like to look at things from a fantasy perspective as well. So just like Justin there, I actually own Dalvin Cook in my most important league, the one I'm the commissioner in, and I was able to get him in the second round, and it felt good because I took Kamara in the first round right after I just missed McCaffrey. So he kind of helped carry the load, and I had a really good streak going and everything. But honestly, if I owned Ryan Tannehill, it would have been a lot more valuable for me in the long run because I kind of waited, and my main guy was Josh Allen for most of the season. So in that league in particular. So looking at it from that perspective, I mean, if you really, really want to talk about somebody who kind of came back out of nowhere from the dead, who wasn't even really, I guess you need to be somewhere to have it, call it a comeback, right? But he never did anything at all in Miami. So for Ryan Tannehill to have this resurgence and this fire to come into Tennessee, steal the starting job away from Mariota, and then be so dominant in the second half of the season where he actually won a lot of people their fantasy leagues, he's going to get my vote in this one. And again, I'm sorry, I probably have a little bit of bias towards the AFC South because I watch them so much. We get, watching the Texans so much, we get to see those guys at least twice a year and then pay attention to other games. So I was very impressed with Ryan Tannehill, even though I own Dalvin Cook in a majority of my fantasy leagues.
No, I'm going to actually very strongly second that notion. I hear LL Cool J's voice. Don't call it a comeback, but to come from nothing and to pretty much be something. I mean, you've been in this league. It's not necessarily a comeback, but it's definitely like a most improved. Which is, I mean, you can put those two things synonymous into this award. How the hell Dalvin Cook could not impress anyone, I do not know. On this show and on this channel specifically, literally like middle of the season, we were like, yeah, Dalvin Cook could be in MVP conversations. I could see that, and that was like fucking week 4, week 5, you know. So with that being said, with that being stated, I'm probably leaning more so towards those two. I don't know. Jimmy G did bounce back off the injury, but we already knew that Jimmy G was hot shit. I mean, granted, there was, in practices, he was throwing the interceptions, he was throwing the picks, I mean,
so was Mahomes.
Think about that in hindsight.
Exactly. So, I mean, those are my two favorites that I'm rocking with. I can't believe that someone actually had the audacity to say they won.
I gotta hop in here. When Jimmy G was throwing those picks, everyone was talking real bad about Jimmy G. No one was considering that maybe they were gonna have the best defense in the NFL, though.
That's true.
Nobody even thought about that. That's what came out of nowhere. Absolutely nowhere.
Hey, but those picks were practice. We talking about practice? Practice?
You got to get the cobwebs out,
Let's see.
Jake, have you given your take on this one?
I would go with Dalvin Cook because I saw Jimmy G ball out. I saw him win games. I did not know Dalvin Cook could stay healthy or would have that history of a comeback. We saw a pretty downward trend of his health, and he stayed relatively healthy this year. He had some that he played through, but I would just go with Dalvin Cook because I was surprised he actually could make it through the year.
He seemed to be the X factor for Minnesota. Would you agree?
Yes. They were a run-heavy offense, and hopefully the Browns run Chubb the same way next year.
Yeah, Teddy Bridgewater's in this conversation because he kept the Saints in playoff position. That's what I would say. But Jordan Love, what is your opinion on that?
Teams looking at him.
I mean, the issue when it comes to Bridgewater is that he only played 5 games.
Yeah,
Had
exactly.
he given us the bigger sample size, we'd be talking about a completely different situation, I think. And talking about a backup who had a big injury, who sat out for a few years, who went to a new team in hopes of playing some snaps. It's Ryan Tannehill. I don't think there's any doubt. You want to talk about a comeback story? That's exactly what Ryan Tannehill is at its core. He went from a quarterback that we saw at best he would come in and play snaps. We thought he was a great backup, and when he finally won a few games, we were like, okay, he can be a game manager. And then he took that a step further, and he was like, no, I'm going to run this offense. And even though they were on the back of Derrick Henry, you could see that Ryan Tannehill almost in a way led that offense.
When Miami was at its best, they had a run-first offense. Well, okay, excuse me. When Tannehill was at his best in Miami, they had a run-first good offense like that. And now that he's on Tennessee, that's all they do. He fits right in.
Yeah, and I mean, people were ready to give up on Ryan Tannehill too.
Yes.
Yes.
So, I mean, I was in that camp. I was like, oh, he's done, and he came in there, got the job, and just ran with it.
I was just gonna say probably a lot of that was on Adam Gase too.
Yeah.
He's just a terrible coach. he's just bad.
Why are they keeping him?
Dude, I hate Adam Gase.
He's a defensive coordinator, but I don't think he's a head coach material.
Well, the Jets have to keep him because they have to find a way to lose to the Patriots.
Rest in peace.
After Tom Brady retires, that's going to be a lot harder. So
rest in peace, Sam Darnold's career.
Oh,
I'm saying it now. I'm saying it now.
No, he'll figure it out. He'll eventually figure it out.
He'll figure it out? Okay, yeah. As long as Adam Gase is coach, he'll definitely figure it out.
Gase might not help him figure it out, but eventually he'll figure it out. Oh, sorry. Okay, yeah. All right. The winner is of the comeback or most improved player of the year, Ryan Tannehill, Tennessee Titans.
Fuck yeah. Hey, that was fantasy QB for fucking 6 weeks, and oh god, I'm so happy.
You know how many questions I got? Should I start Ryan Tannehill or player X? I'm like,
Tannehill.
Start Ryan Tannehill. Why are you still asking me this? I've been telling you that every week.
In fantasy, it's NBA Jam rule. Like if they're on fire, they hit 2-3 games in a row. You just play them, especially and if they're one of those top of the line guys you spent high draft capital on, then you have to roll them out regardless. Don't be even asking questions. It's until the wheels fall off that you're like, all right, you start considering that other stuff. But Tannehill was one of those guys like, man, I wish I had him everywhere else that I was having QB problems because I'm a late round QB guy. I'm not going to spend.
Yep, me too.
I'm not going to do that.
Man, I was just talking about that with Smitty. Smitty preaches early QB. I'm not about that life.
No, thank you. I'll take my chances.
That's that shock value tape. That's that clickbait tape.
Oh yeah.
Fuck,
No, I like to win. I like to win.
that's oh god. Next award is I forgot what I was doing. Next award is fantasy. So now we are going to start getting into some of the fantasy awards here. We only have two categories: fantasy player of the year and then fantasy MVP. With the fantasy rookie of the year. Fantasy rookie of the year and then fantasy MVP. With the fantasy rookie MVP, it'll be myself, JD, and Jake. But Jake, do you play fantasy really?
Me?
Yeah.
Weekly. I do weekly.
Okay. I'm gonna get Miles to chime in on this one with us as well. First, let's just go around and let's state the importance of this award piece by piece. And we'll start off with you, Jake, work down to JD, and with Miles, then come back up to myself, and I'll read the nominees.
Well, I took AJ Brown almost every week I could, just based on he was still a top 5 back in terms of the weekly cap. He was so reliable, I would have to go with him.
Okay.
Weekly fantasy, he was a top 6 to top 7 back almost every week in terms of salary, and he always fulfilled that spot.
JD.
Oh, okay, it's on me. I'd say
It's like just explain the stories of the award first before we get into the nominees, and then after the nominees, we'll break down the player by players.
Okay. I was expecting Jordan Love. So for the fantasy rookie of the years, I mean, you got a lot of good picks. This is a really good class. So, I mean, it's just across the board. You know, there's really no bad choice here, I would argue. Are we asking who I would pick?
No. Just explain the importance of the award.
The importance of the award. Okay. Well, yeah. I mean, with the fantasy rookie of the year, there's the guys you expect to win, and then there's the guys that come out of nowhere. And I feel like a lot of times those end up being the best guys, and that's what we have here. The number one pick, obviously, Kyler Murray. He's interesting just because of the position he plays and the versatility in which he plays it. But there's a bunch of skill positions too. You even talked about Waller earlier. He's not a rookie, but like there's all these guys who came out of nowhere this year and really proved that they could do something. So it's an interesting award, and yeah, whoever gets it is it's gonna have a good year next year, I bet.
Miles, the importance of the fantasy rookie MVP award.
Well, it holds a lot of importance going into redraft next year, if that's what you do as far as fantasy, and then of course, even more importantly, obviously for dynasty, and then you got to see if these guys are going to get extended, how they looked, if they have more opportunities going next year, going forward. I don't know who the candidates are, but I know that whoever does receive this award is somebody that you probably want to target, in the mid rounds, and hopefully can snag before everybody else is, a little bit wiser about how they performed. So I would look for somebody who probably wasn't talked about extensively and held up at such a high value throughout the entire season, but maybe somebody who came on strong really late, helped their team, but also helped you fantasy-wise. So I would throw out a name like Miles Sanders because that's my name and it's cool. No, that's not the reason, but somebody like that who I faced in the playoffs in a couple of leagues who just absolutely killed me, when it counted. And it's somebody who was supposed to be in a timeshare type of committee, who wasn't supposed to take total control as a rookie, and then he just started getting it done on the ground and in the air. So somebody like that is somebody that I would probably throw in there, even though I don't know I doubt he's one of the candidates here for fantasy rookie of the year. But that's the importance that this particular award has moving forward.
Absolutely. Definitely, like Miles said, with these names, you want to look to see where you could probably get them in your drafts next year. All of these candidates are worthy of you picking up on your fantasy team next year, but this is the Rummie Awards. We don't do participation trophies. We can only have one winner. And the nominees for the fantasy rookie or for the fantasy rookie of the year are let me speak in proper English, Terry McLaurin of the Washington Redskins, A.J. Brown of the Tennessee Titans, Kyler Murray of the Arizona Cardinals, and again, Josh Jacobs of the now Las Vegas Raiders. And the winner of this award is, drumroll please, Terry McLaurin of the Washington Redskins. Let's fucking go! Let's go!
No,
Is JD okay?
man, I think I want to piggyback on what
What happened to JD?
what Miles was saying over there. I think even, and most importantly, in keeper leagues, these dudes are like clutch. That's where you're going to want all these dudes.
Absolutely, absolutely. All these guys worth the pickup. I got one. It is what it is.
No, I love F1 McLaurin or Scary Terry or whatever you're going to call him, right? The nicknames aside, the player himself, ridiculous, no matter really who I mean, he obviously took a dip when Haskins was the QB, but there's going to be growing pains with that. I think the future is very bright for him, and he was definitely the MVP of that offense when it wasn't, they weren't leaning on the run because that's all they could do. So, very well-deserved award for him.
I do want to find out which side of the nickname you guys are on. Is it Scary Terry or F1 McLaurin?
F1
Okay.
McLaurin.
So,
Well, Scary Terry is not a good nickname because he might get benched or lose his job.
Yeah.
So
He also hates Scary Terry with a
Yeah.
passion.
Terry himself, he hates Scary Terry. He didn't realize that Scary Terry was already taken when he made it his handle on Twitter. When I named him F1 McLaurin in the interview setting, you can watch it on me and his interview on our channel. He was completely blown away. He was like, I might keep that. And then next thing I know, it's like week 4, week 5, he's having a press conference. He's like, my nickname is F1 McLaurin. He's like, I've been hearing people call me that lately. He's like, and that's what I'm going with now. I was like, man, you should have fucking said that I told you it first, because you know that I told you it first.
Yeah.
Remember that I told you it first.
Oh man,
Just give him the credit where credit's due, man. Come on.
yeah.
Hey,
and
that's my boy.
I mean, but I think that whether you hate it or not, I don't think that even comes into play, because I mean, the Muscle Hamster hated his nickname too, but he still had it. So
Exactly.
Nickname is a
You can't pick your nickname. If your nickname if
Only
your
Kobe
nickname
chose
is
his
nickname,
nickname.
it's what it is.
I understand why he hates the nickname. It's kind of a cliche nickname that's overused in a way, kind of like a muscle hamster. You can call many players in the league a muscle hamster, like
True.
a lot of them.
not anymore though. Now it's there's just one Muscle Hamster. So.
You remember Maurice Jones-Drew? Oh my
God,
god.
Darren
Tree
Sproles.
trunk legs. My lord.
Oh my gosh.
Darren
You really did.
for a muscle hamster.
His calves were like this big. Like a video game.
Whoever said Kyler Murray robbed of the award, QBs aren't
Connor Burke.
That was Connor Burke.
Yeah, QBs aren't that highly valued in fantasy. There's a million and one other. There's no way that a quarterback was winning that fantasy award. Sorry.
I mean, but real quick, this award kind of goes to like the whole Redskins receiving core in a way. Kelvin Harmon, who was a 5th round pick, he came on at the end of the year. Phil Simms came on at the end of the year.
Steven Sims Jr.
Steven Sims, my bad.
No worries.
And then you're looking at, although he's not a rookie, Trey Quinn also came on towards the end of the year. This whole receiving core, while they're very young and youthful, really came on, and it looks great for them.
Absolutely. So does that mean Lamar can't win since he's the quarterback? Exactly. Lamar can't. He's not going to win that award Like,
Yeah, and if any quarterback was it, like if any quarterback were to win an award, it probably would have for that, like a fantasy thing, that'd probably be Lamar too, and he didn't. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But we are now going to get into. Now we're getting into our more serious awards here. We're going to keep it with the fantasy action before we head back over, to our day-to-day regular life football. Fantasy football MVP, Justin and Jordan, take it away.
oh man, J Love, you want to kick it off?
No, you got it.
I'm pulling up the list. Okay.
Well,
I threw. Yeah. So this one's for the fantasy MVP. So I think like this is super important for you. Anyone who plays fantasy football already has a name in their mind, I'm sure, and no one has the same name in mind. So whoever was on your team and led your team and did great, or you played against and absolutely destroyed you.
Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah, but like everyone has those names, like people are going to be like Pat Mahomes because they played against Pat Mahomes and he put up a bunch of points and knocked them out the playoffs or won them a championship. And so that's why I think this one category is super fun because it's not based off one stat alone. There is more you take into it. And so it's a lot of fun to me. I'll let you do the names, J Love.
The nominees for fantasy football MVP are Lamar Jackson, Christian McCaffrey, Mark Andrews, and Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah, I love these guys because there's different reasons for each one of them. Like you got CMC up there who was like probably the either number 1, 2, or 3 person off your draft board. And then you have Lamar Jackson, who probably he might not have even came off your draft board. So you got a whole bunch of different. Ryan Tannehill, if he came off your draft board, you need a new league. So, but all these guys wound up doing great and winning people championships.
Another thing that you can use to back up in this situation is guys that played all 17 weeks. McCaffrey played in every game. Lamar Jackson sat out week 17 when you're in that championship.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Nobody's playing that championship in week 17.
Yeah, that's on you at that point.
Some people do. Some people mess it up and they're like,
sorry for you.
But yeah.
But they learned their lesson now.
Yeah, for the mishap.
It's happening over on Sportscaster. Zach got 112, 114, 114, 112, 110, and another 112. Dilly, thank you. Hell yeah.
I'm out. I got a refill.
That was the end of mine.
Yeah. Unfortunately, but
Oh, man.
but I'm having fun here. Good stuff.
Hell yeah.
So do I get to vote on this? Because I already threw it out there, but yeah, obviously Christian McCaffrey was a guy who was a thorn in my side. Many leagues he was taken right before I wanted to take him, and then when I had a chance to take him in some leagues, I went another route. Saquon was a guy who I went with in a lot of those instances, and then like J Love was saying, he didn't play the entire season, so you didn't get to feel that full effect. Christian McCaffrey was a solid guy that you got. You could have gotten him at pick number 3 most likely in your draft. And he was solid. He was an Iron Man. He did it both in the air and on the ground. I mean, he was a wide receiver 1 and a running back 1. So what more could you have asked for at that position as far as somebody who's going to just carry your fantasy team? And I know in leagues that I played in, a lot of the times the guys who were playing in the championship game, he was on their roster. And it goes for everybody else on this list, I think. But he was the guy from day one who you expected to kind of take that next step, and then he did. So fulfilling that just, it made everybody feel better for taking him at where they did. And so that's why I think he deserves the award. And interesting fact about him, he sleeps 10 hours a day, and then he takes naps on top of that. So that's just to go. Wow. That just shows how important the sleep is for your recovery. So you guys, you athletes out there, just so you know that. He sleeps a lot.
Damn.
I did not know that. That's interesting.
All righty. So who's the winner, Justin and Jordan?
You got it, man. You got it.
I'll be surprised.
I don't got it.
I wouldn't be surprised if it's Lamar Jackson, though. I mean, he just totally dominated the position this year.
All right. So we got the drum roll.
Oh shit! Yeah,
right.
drum roll, please.
And the winner is CMC.
Run CMC. 2 awards tonight.
2 rummies.
2 rummies. Hell
Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right.
I love CMC for when I think that was the most dominant player in the NFL this year at any position for fantasy. He killed it. He could have been put up wide receiver 1 numbers and running back numbers at the same time. But what I really love too is like how Miles was talking about with Cook. I was able to get CMC and then Dalvin Cook in a draft, and I mean that was just amazing. And then I got Lamar in the last round of that draft. That was a great league.
Yeah,
that is a damn good league. Yeah, with the fantasy award,
I'm gushing over here over that roster.
Right.
That's on either way. But I feel that CMC was definitely the person that was going to take it. He came out as a top 3 draft pick this year. You know, you probably draft him either 1, 2, or 3, hands down. No other way really around it because he wasn't making it out of the top 3. So with that being said, I mean, to get drafted in a top spot and then put up top numbers throughout the whole year, felt that he was a guy. Let's see here. And the next award. Oh, these next 2 awards. So we are now getting into our final 3 awards here for tonight. Trying to think how I want to do this. Okay, I know. So the first award that we are going to get into is our own award here on the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. And of course, that would be no other than the Why the Rum is Always Gone award. This category, this award is given to the player that both in real life and fantasy probably just really gave you a headache and made you drink a lot. They were the reason why the rum was always gone. And let's see here. And with the and for the nominees of this award, we have Baker Mayfield, Andy Dalton, Nelson Aguilar can't catch a damn football. Aguilar and OJ. I will catch at a baseball game for the Tampa Bay Rays, but not for my own team, Howard. Fellas, why is the rum always gone? Who wins?
I just want to say Baker Mayfield. Man, there was so many jokes about him just right off the bat. Like, just want to say that there's a lot of jokes about Baker. What do you think?
Man, I have a personal vendetta against OJ Howard at this point, but just because I put him so high in my own rankings and what he did to me, just watching him get target after target and just swat the ball down. I'm like, what are you doing? Do you realize you're on offense?
No, he's playing linebacker.
Yeah, he's a great linebacker. Great linebacker.
Deflections. Key deflections. Big time.
Nelson Aguilar dropped, what was it? It was like a record number in one game. It was like 7 drops in one game.
Yeah,
oh my God.
Including a wide open touchdown to win a game.
That one's rough.
Yeah, I didn't I'm pretty sure he has to have been had both hands amputated, because that's what it looked like when he was trying to catch the ball. I'm like, what? You have no hands. You're catching the ball with no hands.
Did OJ Howard even get 200 yards this year?
No. OJ Howard, he had I think 34 total catches, is what they said. And I thought it was way less than that, to be honest. I was like, I didn't think that he had fucking 34 catches.
They all were underhand.
And just 34 catches, that's really bad.
34 catches, 459 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Baker had 21 interceptions on 22 touchdowns.
Yes, none of these players were good.
Yeah.
Winston had 30 touchdowns and 30 interceptions.
Yeah, it's hard because you have to look at the situations. Yeah. Everything was a mess in Cleveland. I don't know where to start with the problems were, but
I mean,
it was all bad. I mean, I don't know about that even because we didn't give him a check down. It was 5-step, 7-step, 20 to 25 yard routes, not open, throw it to somebody. It was a run and shoot. So
Kareem Hunt was there. I think if he could have checked down to him, he was doing just fine.
Well, they weren't called. They weren't called. That's the problem. It was we want to go 20, 25 yards chunk plays. I have to go with the guy that actually had a good coach, and Peterson's a good coach. So Aguilar, man, there's no excuse. He was so good 2 years ago. Had that season, right?
I don't know. Aguilar, he had that one good season, but he's had one good season. Like he's not known to be a good player. Like for fantasy, you weren't drafting. You shouldn't have been drafting Aguilar to be in your starting lineup. He was like, I hope this pans out. Every other player on this list, if you drafted them, it's because you were planning to start them.
Yeah.
And also, you shouldn't have drafted Andy Dalton at all.
No.
Oh yeah, not Andy Dalton. I just need to find. I need to find someone that sucked, and I couldn't think of it off the top of my head. So I was like,
Okay, so with all of that being said, my vote goes for Baker Mayfield. He's the guy that a lot of people put a lot of stock into. At the beginning of the season, I heard people talking about comparing him to Deshaun Watson. He went relatively in the same area in fantasy drafts, like right next to him or right after him, which is preposterous considering how they finished at the end of the season. So he was obviously the biggest disappointment and therefore deserves this stupid fucking award.
I need some humor.
I said
you can survive with screwing up with OJ Howard. You could have picked up somebody else. You know what I'm saying? But hurting.
I give it to Baker because I give it to Baker because Browns overall were bad, and I'm angry with them. I don't think it was totally his fault, but I want to blame somebody, and I'm going to blame Baker just because I can. But I don't think it was his fault, but I have to blame a quarterback for the Browns because that's what we do.
He's the leader.
Cleveland fans always blame the quarterback.
Yeah.
Hey, show me on this doll where the Browns hurt you.
Oh God. Right here. Right here.
Straight jugular. Right, they weren't even.
Yeah, right here.
Drum roll.
Award goes to
Baker Mayfield.
Thank you. Hit him on Instagram.
Yeah, Baker, please hit us up to collect your award.
I'll get a trophy for him with the rum bottle.
Wait a minute. I just remembered something. Wasn't Baker Mayfield in your guys' top 5 fantasy quarterback rankings?
Not mine.
Whoa.
Not mine.
Who is your guy?
He was so high on Baker.
For me.
I was so high on Baker. I was like, yeah, let's
go.
You
were high on Baker.
I was out on Baker Mayfield this year.
But, I had him at like 18. I think
I had him at 14.
Hold on,
you did not have him at 18.
I do have a counter here.
No, I had him a lot lower than you guys did.
No,
yeah, I did.
You had him lower. You had him lower. You did not have him that fucking low.
No,
nobody, period, in the industry had him that low.
I had everyone on the Browns team lower than everyone else. I was wrong on Landry, but I had him outside. I had Baker outside my top 10.
Oh, I bet the under of the Browns this year for everything. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't trust them.
I had like Baker
better.
You can't trust them
with all those weapons. I figured Baker would do a little bit better than he did. But
okay. When you look at
I just thought it would be spread out too much.
Well, the issue in Cleveland was you had Monken coach the first 30 to 40 plays of the first half. Then Baker would stop talking to Monken and have to talk to Kitchens because he called the rest of the game. But Monken was the advisor, so Monken could step in and stop Baker. So you had 2 coordinators talking to Baker at the same time to run different plays.
Exactly.
Yeah, that ain't gonna work.
It usually doesn't work. No, it You shouldn't have two
Cook in the
coordinators.
kitchen.
Well, he knows the kitchen very well. He also knows the spit can in Alabama where he should stay forever because I can't stand that dude.
Where at? Who? Baker?
No, Kitchens.
Oh, Kitchens.
Yeah. Find your spit can
he
in
ain't going
Birmingham
back.
and just stay there forever and never leave your house. Cause
Didn't he get
I
hired
don't
by
like
somebody? Giants?
Yeah, the Giants.
Of course, the Giants hired
The
him.
Giants are hiring all the failed coaches.
Yeah,
Didn't they hire Jason Garrett too?
It's like a charity. They feel bad for him. They're like, "Were you abused as a coach? Come to New York. We'll treat you good."
Yeah, they hired
Yeah.
Jason
I
Garrett
mean,
too.
if you're from Bama, you're abused. Period. So
Wow.
You ready for the NFL MVP award, guys?
The last two and most important awards.
Yeah, these last two are the most important awards of the night. JD, we're all just gonna go around first and just explain our reasoning, our importance for why the NFL MVP award is so highly important. I'll start playing it simple. This award is going to absolutely the best player in the game. Hands down. They transcended what happens on the field in a completely different manner than their peers. Once again, all these guys are high performing candidates, but we can only get one winner. And then I'll go over to Jake, then J Love, then JD, then back. So why is the MVP important to you, Jake?
I mean, it kind of shows that there is 2 seasons of the NFL. And how it goes is, can you get your team there and can you win? Can you stay healthy enough for 16 games to take your team there? And if you break records, you're a big name. If you carry lesser talent, you're a big name. It just shows it's almost a changing award nonstop because when you look at it, it's always a debate of best stats, best playoff performance. Is it a regular season or playoff award? You never know because the votes come in later in the NFL, so you can't really guarantee who the guy is.
Absolutely. J-Love?
The award started in 1957, and now you're coming to 2019. If you win, or 2020, if you win this award, you're a part of a select group of people. You're less than 100 because, many people have won this award multiple times. You're in a group that, I don't know the exact number, but you're probably looking at a number somewhere in the 30s or 40s. It's a very, very prestigious club, and again, you're one of 40 people ever in this world to get that award.
Hell yeah.
So to me, like, the importance of this award to me is like, this is something where it's like only one player in the entire NFL gets chosen for this. So you're being selected out of the most elite athletes in the world as the most elite athlete in that group and at your profession. And that's something that you can, no matter what happens with your career, you will always be brought up when people speak of you. So that's just fantastic. And like that's something every player wants on their resume at the end of their career.
So for me, the MVP means the one dude who can change the entire game, can carry the team on his back with 1 or 2 plays in the game, and do it not only one game, but every single game, or at least like most of the games. So that's how I see the MVP. It's got to be the guy who does it every week, consistently, dominant. Dominant is the word.
Well, my opinion on this is based on how I view the award, it is a regular season award, and I can't go anyone besides Lamar or Wilson. And I pick Lamar slightly over Wilson because his numbers broke records. If you win that many games in a row and break records, you have to be the guy for that regular season award.
Should we have the nominees? Should we talk about them?
All righty, and now for the nominees for the NFL MVP of the Year award. First up, Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Next, Christian McCaffrey of the Carolina Panthers. Michael Thomas, New Orleans Saints. Russell Wilson, Seattle Seahawks. Y'all want to debate that before we get into the winner, or should we just roll right into a winner here? I think we can roll into a winner here.
I think we can roll. Yeah.
And for the first annual Rummie Awards NFL MVP, we have Lamar Jackson of the Baltimore Ravens. Hell yes.
Had to be.
Burke is so happy.
It had to be. The most prestigious award had to go to Lamar Jackson. I mean, he broke rushing records. He was probably one of the most top 3 elite passers in the league. I mean, he's just the most dynamic player in the NFL.
Yeah, there's no doubt.
Yeah, I think, in my opinion, I know, Jake, you were saying you had Russell Wilson up there close to that, but not quite. For me, the only other person I even considered was CMC, but I felt like Lamar left him behind, like in the last few weeks. Like he just really showed himself to be just the best player in the NFL. He deserved it.
Absolutely.
CMC might have been like the best fantasy player, but like for his position and everything. But Lamar impacted each game. Like he was so dominant. He would just put teams in his dust sometimes and just be disgusting. Cannot compete with that.
It's insane to think Michael Thomas had this great of a year, but it's just the fact that he's a receiver. He's never even getting any recognition.
Yeah.
There's only ever been 3 receivers to get a vote since 1980.
This is why I think the media heavily will go Michael Thomas for Offensive Player of the Year. I think he'll get that just because of the record.
He deserves something.
Year. Yeah, I think he'll get something for it. It's like how Peterson was Player of the Year when Peyton had that great season. What do you do? 55 touchdowns versus breaking a record. Like
2K.
You got to give.
Yeah,
it's just 2K stats on both sides. I don't know what you do, but
when Matt Ryan won MVP, didn't Gurley get Offensive Player of the Year, or was it Brady?
I don't.
Something like that.
Gurley had Offensive Player of the Year. We looked it up. So yeah, he won it 1 year for sure.
Let's see here.
I don't know what.
Yeah, I just looked it up earlier, but he did win it recently.
So that does leave now 1 award left. It sounds like we may do Game of the Year as well. But we do have 1 award left. And this award being the of course, Walter Payton Man of the Year. In this case, the Rumboyz Man of the Year. This person exemplifies extraordinary levels of service before self whenever off the field and having a positive impact in their communities. Now, with this award, there is a representative from all 32 teams, okay? So we're not going to go through a list of nominees for them all, but I could probably say some shit off the top of my head. But the nominees for the Walter Payton Man of the Year award are Richard Sherman,
Bobby Wagner,
Kyle Van Noy, and Cam Newton. Anybody have anything else to say that they want to say around these 3 nominees?
What's up?
This is like Defensive Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
No, man. So not so much about any individual of them, but just like this award in itself. Like, I love that the NFL has this award, and that people get recognized for doing great things in their community. Because as a professional athlete, I think you should give back to your community and the people who support you. And it shows that with all the bad publicity that a lot of these athletes get, this shows like it highlights some of the great things that these people do.
No question. And Richard Sherman is a guy who he raised, I think it was like $30,000-$40,000 just recently. He does all types of stuff, and not only in Seattle but in San Francisco, all over the place, Stanford area. Bobby Wagner's a guy who buys groceries for people all the time. Patrick Mahomes builds houses. Cam Newton just raised $5 million to help youth sports and stuff like that. So, man, like all these guys, like there's no bad answer for any of these guys. Anyone who's doing good things in the community deserves some recognition and some credit, honestly. So all these guys deserve some credit.
One guy that we did not mention as a nominee that I think does deserve a little bit of credit is Justin Simmons from the Denver Broncos. While he hasn't raised $5 million or anything of that nature, he's done so many small things that have just built up throughout his time.
That's
He's
huge.
He's been a multiple-time nominee. He does things for the youth. He's done things for people with disabilities. He reaches out to children. And he just doesn't get the recognition because he hasn't done anything massive, but he does the little things, and those are the things that matter in life.
Right.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, like I said, every single one of these nominees from every single team should really be proud of the work that they've done for the people within their communities. Be proud of them for taking the time out to contribute and also be nominated for such a prestigious honor. With that being said, and really quick, all the nominees for tonight absolutely positively deserve to be mentioned or to be in the category. I'm sure there's players that we weren't able to get to and weren't able to mention. And that's
Sure.
okay, you know, that's okay, you know. But
People do things without being noticed too. Yeah.
Exactly. But nevertheless, drum roll, please. And the winner, all together, and the winner of the Rumboyz Man of the Year award goes to
Got
Cam
Newton.
$5 million, man.
Man, yeah.
He's been working his ass off. He was hurt, but he was doing work.
Yep.
I know,
And it
right?
looks like he's going to be a Panther.
Hang on, Tyler. You can't vote all 49ers players in the fucking category, okay? That is not the
Tyler,
way.
I'm a 49er fan,
you
and
got
I'm not
award.
voting all 49ers here.
Shanahan got an award too. You guys got enough.
Yeah, bro.
And we're getting a Super Bowl on Sunday. You know, we can't win them all.
No. Listen, I already put it in the chat. If the Niners win the Super Bowl, y'all might not ever see me on
Don't
here
care
again,
who wins.
okay?
I don't care who wins.
Okay.
As long as Debo gets a touchdown, right?
Yes, Debo needs a touchdown. That's all I care about.
Me
All that
too.
matters.
Me too.
Or-
All I care about
okay.
is Debo getting touchdowns.
Also, I need the
Touchdown.
first turnover to be a fumble. I need the last score to be a field goal. I need the first challenge to be upheld.
Oh my god.
I need
My Lord.
yes.
You need a
And
lot.
I need the Niners to win, to just win the game. Period. That's all,
No.
all there is to it.
No.
I think it's a
No.
high scoring game to be.
I take 3 of those, honestly. I have like 7 bets going.
I'll take one of those. As long as it's the 49ers winning.
I think my line is going. I pick them to win. Debo scores first, and a field goal would most likely close the game out defensively for the Niners. So my flow of the game would be the Niners winning. Yes, I mean, kind of all in on that.
I got my Jerry Rice beanie baby here.
See, I haven't released. I'm not releasing my prediction, score and everything until Sunday morning during our pregame show. But I'm gonna be honest. After tonight, there's been enough evidence to fucking irk me into the position of picking the Chiefs.
I haven't even put my prediction out there yet. I'm saying I want the 49ers to win.
I think the Niners are they the favorites? I feel like they
No.
should be.
No, so really quick.
Really?
It's going more and more towards the Chiefs the closer we get.
Well, I hit it at 1, so it was 1.5.
Yep. I just want to put this out there for everyone that if you are a betting man out there, the lines are open. Westgate has dropped. The line is open at 1.5 right now in favor of the Kansas City Chiefs.
1.5. That makes sense. Very small.
It makes a whole lot of sense when you break down the stats between the two teams. Anyone that's predicting this I get what you can predict. You can try and if you predict either side winning by one or winning by more than one score. And if you hit on that, you're lucky. I'm gonna be honest. Everything for these two teams are so very close to each other. You might want to place your bets within about a field goal. To be honest, just it's my job to make sure that you take care of your fucking money. That's it.
Don't do this.
You put in a lot of prop bets. Those are props, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, after you hit on all of them.
Hey, there was 700, dude.
Dude, there's mad props. I can open up Thrive Fantasy app right now, and there's a million different fucking props.
Justin's got to go, but cheers to Justin for hanging out with us today, guys.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me here. You guys all look amazing. It was fun. Let's do this again. Let's say next year around the same time.
They say let's do this. Yeah. So yeah, I mean we're all pretty much head out at the same time here, anyways. So we'll just kick this off with you, Justin. Justin, let everyone know what you got going on. Let's keep this Super Bowl oriented.
Yes, Clock Management Fantasy Football. We have our pregame show kicking off at noon West or Pacific time, Sunday, obviously. And we're going to be doing some giveaways. We're going to be having a bunch of guests on, including Robbie and then some other big fantasy shows. And then we're going to lead right into the Rumboyz pregame show.
Exactly. So let's just iterate that one more time, Justin. You will start your morning off noon Pacific time. So for you guys on the East Coast, that would be
3.
Yep, that'd be 3 for you guys. So 3 for you guys on the East Coast. You're going to start off your morning, your afternoon with Justin of Clock Management Fantasy Football, and then he's going to segue you guys right over to us. All right?
Yes.
All righty, Justin. And where can the people find you on social media if they have any questions?
Twitter at Management Clock, Instagram at Clock Management, Facebook at Clock Management, TikTok at Clock Management.
There we go.
I got 3 videos on there. I don't know why, but they're there.
We're working on it. Hey, I appreciate you, brother. Enjoy the rest of your night.
You too. See you guys later.
Oh yeah, JD, let the people know what's good, what you got coming, what you got popping off. Let's go.
Man, news all the time. We're talking All-Star game a lot, but that's probably after the Super Bowl. Tomorrow, obviously, I'll be with you guys for the Super Bowl kickoff party, so that'll be freaking awesome. Rumboyz.com is always releasing interesting stuff. Stay tuned for that.
Hell yeah. Jordan Love, get him.
Still coming out with the series. Been a little bit on back order because I said I was going to start it this past week. I started college this past week, actually, so that's been a little tough.
Congrats.
Not a lot of time on my hands, but I've been working on it bit by bit, 20-minute increments, and it's almost there. So be on the lookout.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. I don't think I had JD tell people where they can find him on social. Well, JD, where can people find you on socials?
At Rumboyz JD on Twitter and on Facebook. I'm at it's just Sports with JD from Rumboyz. I think it's what it's called.
Oh yeah, hell yeah. Alrighty, hey Jake Love. Or wow, I just really fucking did that.
I'm Jake Love.
Rumboyz Combat. Yeah.
Well, I have 2 articles up on rumboyz.net, one with the XFL, one with prop bets on the Super Bowl, of course. I mean, also I started a Twitter at Rumboyz_C, Rumboyz Combat.
Oh, nice.
Hell yeah.
Follow me there there.
Yeah, we got to get Rumboyz Combat followers. I'm going to get you tapped in with a couple of the MMA and boxing podcasts that are in the industry. You know, because people are they're knocking down the door and they're asking for myself, and I can't feature everywhere, to be honest. So we're going to start deploying all of you guys out there to be representatives on my behalf. Tyler, you want game of the year, man? Game of the year is whatever game that you felt it was. Like, we all have varying different opinions on that, and we're going to.
Okay, no, let's just give him what he wants. Every 49ers game ever. You happy?
The Bears beating the Vikings.
You happy, man?
Yeah. I mean,
Niners Saints to me, man. Niners Saints to me.
Yeah, in all honesty, Niners Saints, though. That was
Niners Saints.
That was a great game.
Enjoy it, okay?
Bears Vikings.
That's it.
The one that we won.
Alrighty.
I'm gonna make people mad. I'm glad Justin isn't here. Game of the year, the Super Bowl. You want to know why? Because the Niners are gonna get smacked.
You think they're gonna get smacked? Ooh, can't wait to talk about that on Sunday.
I'm not allowed to talk about it. I took a vow.
Do not care as long as Deebo Samuel scores a touchdown. That's all I care about. They could lose by 40. I gotta take that one. That's a big one.
Y'all gotta join us on Sunday so we can talk about the game in full.
Yes, definitely join us on Sunday. We have a star-studded lineup that I'm bringing you guys on Sunday. I worked very, very fucking hard over the last 3 weeks to book some of the best personalities in the industry. They're going to come on and talk about their podcasts and their shows. They're going to give you their game picks. They're going to give you their betting advice and their analysis. They're going to talk fantasy football with you guys. It's going to be fucking ballerific. Of course, you know, the Rumboyz are all going to be linked up together. It's Super Bowl Miami, baby. Welcome to Miami. Mama, I'm Miami. You know,
Jordan Love triggered Tyler with that pick.
I'm glad you care enough to get mad at me.
So, I mean, you know, make sure you guys stop through Sunday afternoon. It's going to be going down. Our show kicks off 2 Mountain Time. So, like, you know, that'd be 1 Justin's time. For you guys on the East Coast, that'd be like 4 your time.
2 Central.
Yep, 2 Central. Catch me on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Rumboyz, spelled with a Z-N-E-T. Tomorrow, I will be calling TBL action over on Sportscaster, so make sure you guys hop in for that. We're going to be doing the very first ever doubleheader, and it is fully sponsored and presented by the Rumboyz Fantasy Network. I couldn't be more excited, and I appreciate all of you guys that came through last night for last night's TBL stream and showed mad fucking love, because we are the #1 TBL broadcasters on Sportscaster. Nobody puts up more ratings than we do, so I appreciate the fuck out of you guys. Let's re-replicate those numbers for TBL on Super Bowl Sunday. Other than that, y'all ready to do this? Cheers to me.
Cheers to you.
All the Rumboyz and girls, what to do. Dilly.
Hey, shout out to Eric Talk Sports and Triet for always hanging out in my stream. Cheers.
Hell yeah. Cheers to all the Rumboyz and girls out there. We love all y'all. Dilly. Donna Burke will get that article approved for you. Tyler said, bang. All right. Hey, we out of here, y'all. Dilly. Happy Rummies.
Right now. Happy Rummies.